I wanted to remove you before, if you are not.
Turn it on.
So,
With my audio, can you no longer hear the birds?
um,
Or can you
we
hear
can,
them still?
we can hear you.
Can you hear the birds in the background, or is it gone now?
It doesn't, no, we can't hear the birds. Let them sing, don't worry. Okay. Um, I'm sorry for those who couldn't receive their resources this week. I'm going to try to send them today or tomorrow, both of them together. Okay?
Still.
Yeah, my apology. So I'm going to rename Archibald. Spell me your name properly so that Archibald, A
Yeah.
C
A-R-C
A R C
H-I
H I
B-O-N-G.
B O N G.
James.
Archibald. Archibald. Are you from United States of Africa, Nigeria?
Of course I am.
So you're calling from Nigeria now?
Yes, I'm in Nigeria.
Okay. Right. So you're welcome to this section.
Thank you, sir.
I want you to understand this section is recorded as well.
Okay.
So as usual, I'm your trainer, Sylvester Ojobo, and I want you to have this opportunity to uh, familiarize yourself with each other by greeting one another. If you can see their names there, so that you can speak. So I'm greeting you also. I want you to greet yourselves where you.
Hello, Prince Bob Manuel, F.A., Nicholas Murray, Ramsey. I think that's about what I can see on my screen.
Okay.
My name is Archibald James, and I'm pleased to be among your group.
Right. Okay. Anyone?
I can. Hi, everybody. This is Nicholas Murray. Archibald, I can't hear you very well, though.
Okay. Ramsey?
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Nicholas, Effie, Prince Bob, Manuel, Archibald.
Good morning, Ramsey.
Good morning.
Good day, this afternoon here.
Okay. So
Good morning, everyone. This is Bob Manuel. Good morning to the big Oga, also Archibald, to Nicholas, Madam F. and Ramsey. Good morning.
Good day, sir.
yeah. Right. So just a quick one. Can you just have a recap what you learned the last time? Why I'm going to obtain something. Just a quick one. Your time start now.
So we were going through interview questions. It was actually quite a lot to cover. So what have I got written down? What metrics can measure the success of data governance, things like that. And the answer was like the quality of the sources, compliance rates, reduction in data incidents, and user satisfaction, things like that. I hope everyone can hear me.
I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, we
So
can hear you.
that was like one question we went through. We went through quite a bit. What is the difference between data governance and data management? Data governance focuses on policies, rules, while data management involves the execution of those rules. Which, yeah, one's policies, one's management. Yeah.
Okay, so were you able to?
Yeah, so we were going through like last week. You were going through interview questions. Quite a few. Again, one was what metrics can the success of what metrics can measure the success of data governance, for example. Another question would have been, what is the difference between data governance and data management? And I've got the answers for both, but
What's your answer?
so for the latter question, data governance is like the policies which basically govern data, and management is how those policies are managed within a particular business.
Okay. All right. That's very good. So when you're talking about principles and policy, when you're the other one we're talking about management, is that correct?
Yes. So the management is how the execution of those policies are governed within a particular business. Managed rather than governed.
That's very good. So, in a few minutes from now, we're gonna, let me just say about 30 minutes or 20 minutes, we're gonna be dealing with some few questions before I go for the main teaching. Is that okay, everyone?
Absolutely.
Because it will shape the way you can deal with issues when you are working. Okay. Right.
Okay.
I'm going to, a few questions will come from data quality and security. Can you see it on the, can you see what I wrote there? So, okay. Now, especially those who wants to continue to be data analysts, how does data governance improve data quality? Question?
It makes sure that the data itself is of high standard, and it makes sure that the correct I say laws are in place to make sure that secure so it keeps the quality of the data high, and make sure that it stays in the right place, I believe.
Okay, that's a very good attempt. I love that.
I'm trying. Let me go through my notes.
Who else?
Data. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Data governance helps to improve data quality by making sure there's a structured framework in place, and that framework makes sure that the data is accurate, it's consistent, reliable, complete, and accessible throughout the organization. So under that one, data ownership is defined. Who are the stewards who are managing it? So you can the roles are assigned to the various stewards. It makes sure the data quality rules are in place. So there will be tools to validate and cleanse the data. So like Power BI, what's the other one? Power BI, Excel, Tableau, things like that. To validate and cleanse the data. And then it also makes sure there's a comprehensive metadata to provide lineage and meaning to the data.
Yeah. Okay.
So with metadata, I don't know if with metadata you have things like sometimes you log on somewhere and they will put name, surname, date of birth, address, those are all called metadatas. So it's left for the person to fill in the remaining parts. So where it says name, your name, where it says surname, you put in your surname. where it says date of birth. So those attributes are the metadatas.
Good.
The metadata, so name, surname, date of birth, address, those are all attributes of metadatas.
Okay.
Good. Any other person? Thank you for the answers. And basically, just keep it in context and so short. Just by saying and by defining standards, like what Nicola started with, and then if we ended it properly as well,
Yeah,
by
I tried.
defining standards. So if you're asked, how does data governance improve data quality? These are re-interview questions. When you are asked this question in the spot, what will you do? You set standard, define standards, validation data, define validation data, and monitor for consistency. We're talking about quality now. It's very important. Okay? Well, Manuel, can you hear that as well?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, what process ensure accuracy under data governance? What process ensure data accuracy and under data governance? Now hear this. We're talking about accuracy right now. If we're talking about accuracy, we're talking about data quality. So, and if you are not well taught as a data governance, you will not be able to have it. None. So that's why this curriculum is different for this training. Okay, what processes? Please take note, because if you're a data analyst and data governor, you must know this as well. What processes? You can have a program without a process. What processes can you talk about? Can you ensure to ensure that there is the data accuracy under data governance? What processes?
One will be data cleansing.
Yeah.
So that's data cleansing will come is the removal of inaccurate or duplicate information in a database. So cleansing, you have to standardize and make sure these formats are all standardized according to what Nicola said earlier on. And you can fix them through using an automated process.
That's correct.
Or manual process. So, for example, in a bank, if you have, say, for example, you have 3 AFAs, they would have to use a process to take out to make sure each AFA or each ID is unique to that particular AFA.
That's
and
correct.
that could either be using the date of birth or using the address or using something anyway that will make each AFA stand out. But if they find out it's the same person, then they cleanse that name out. They remove the duplicates or remove if they've been spelled incorrectly, then they take out that one. Another one too is data stewardship, assigning stewards who are responsible for monitoring and the accuracy of the database.
Yeah.
So the stewards are the ones who will enforce the data governance policy. And probably you as a data governance manager can also do it, conduct periodic reviews or audit
periodic review or audit. That's correct. Yeah.
to ensure that the data is correct. Say, for example, a sales team data steward will make sure that all their prices in the database is all up to date. And if there's a sales or if there's no sales, because say, for example, there was a sales where all the prices dropped to £100 or £10 or something. And then all of a sudden the organization says, right, let all the sales go back to what they were originally. And then you as a data governance manager did not pick that up right away. Obviously, people will buy at that price. And because the customer is always right, There's nothing you can do. You have to give it to the customer. So if all the sales, if there was a sales going on, the customers will buy it at that sale. Then once the authorities say, right, we need to put the price back up, and then someone missed it along the way, and the prices remained where they were, that's a loss to the organization, and that's a problem for you as a data governance manager. So you always have to keep on top of the data stewards. Another one will be data profiling. So making sure any inaccuracies, inconsistencies, or anomalies are identified. Say, for example, you could say, like, I used EFI before, or let's say in a school where you have boys and girls, you have 100 boys and you have 100 girls. Spelling one person's name wrong could mean that person losing marks or that person gaining marks. So if you have 3 people bearing the same name with nothing really identifying who is who, and then you are assigning scores to those people, you could probably put FA score against the other FA score, or put John Smith's score against the other person's score. Automatically, you have spoiled that person's chances of getting into the higher institution because you have marked them down or increased the other person's chances. So it's very important to make sure the data is profiled. And then also
Can
making
I ask a question?
Yeah.
Let me ask if before she goes fast, that it doesn't go off my head.
Oh,
Please, I'm
sorry.
sorry for that. Yeah.
Okay.
So the examples you use, like the one that has to do with the sales and the prices going back to what they are, so that the company does not run at a loss. So the person, there's somebody supposed to be responsible for that, even though you are responsible for the governance of the process. But if somebody is responsible, so you hold the person who is responsible, who has that data, right? That's where it's supposed to go to. I mean, if he doesn't remember, you ensure that you get him to remember, and it's affected, so that we don't have the losses don't come to the company.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're the
And then
data
for this,
will you be working on holding somebody responsible first instead of getting to money?
yeah.
So for me, the data governance manager the onus should fall on that data governance manager, because you are the one who's overseeing the stewards and overseeing all the other bits and bobs. So even if a steward makes the onerous mistake of not correcting the price change, you as a data governance manager, you have to be on top of all these things. You have to be overseeing them. You have to make sure they're accurate. So it's a continuous process, put it that way. Of course, along the line, you might make a mistake or two, but trying to make sure you're as accurate as possible when it comes to database is very crucial to the data governance manager's role.
I will say no room for mistake, zero mistakes, right? So on the other example that has to do with 3 people bearing FA, I think that's one of the reasons why you have like ID numbers, and the ID numbers should be able to differentiate these 3 persons, even if they have to write the same exams.
Absolutely,
so
yes.
If you look at the previous question, it's more or less what you guys are discussing and asking question. Data quality and security. The thing is that if the data has no quality, it's gonna be difficult for the governance to carry out an improvement. So what that means is that they need to define standards. Standard is not ordinary just word, and it's not excluding classifications. So if you are doing data quality initiatives and you do not have standards and classification, then there are going to be tendency to have names that are conflicting. In fact, names are the same. So that automatically are going to give a very big problem. So you're going to do a lot of data cleansing, a lot of a lot of checks, validation checks, data validation check, and monitoring in order to have consistency in our standards and classifications. So the question here, what processes ensure data accuracy under governance? You guys have actually explained it if very seriously, explained even beyond the answer. I always want us to keep it very short when you are being interviewed. And then if you can't keep it short, come with example as if we bringing examples in. Always know examples. Always work with examples. But if you can bring an example automatically, it just simply means this and that and that. So what that means is that what processes ensure data accuracy under governance is data validation, periodic audits, and automated quality checks. That's it. If you have this process in place, even after you have carried out your data quality initiative, these three very, very important. Data validation, because you carry out your initiative, you have to validate all data. And you need to have what is called periodic audits. And that depends on the complexity of data you're handling within your enterprise. Then you can say biannually or bi-weekly, it could be automatic periodic audits you having because it will be flagging if anything's wrong. And you can also automate the quality checks as well. So there is standard you check, you already put together, and with your criteria set up for your KPI to know whether your performance of the program, data governance program is ensured. You know from the AVOC to prioritization or optimization of your system, you know where each of these data state and target are. So automatically you can set up automated quality checks of what is going on at a time. Not only just the company across the functional department or with even as far as to third party is concerned, has to have access to, authorize, data that within the company scope of dealing with a third party as well. So these things are very, very important, this process. So, I have two more questions on this before we go forward. By the way, if we thank you for explaining a whole lot of data initiative.
Thank you.
To buttress that. So we're going to be interchangeably moving from analytics to a data quality initiative, so that people must understand this too very, 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 very fast. Because the more you know it, the better you are, in data governance. How do you handle sensitive data in data governance? Sensitive data. I think I should expect everybody to give an answer to this.
Encryption, passwords.
Yeah, I love that. That's one of the answers. Encryption.
Two-stage verifications, things like that.
I love that. Yeah.
I'm missing something. I know it.
If you want to phone a friend, no problem.
Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah, kind of do. I know it's two-stage authentication. You have encryption.
Yeah. Okay.
Passwords that could be whether it be digital or written. So
okay.
like numbers. So you could have like a six number password, but it could also be a name or something. I can't remember the name for that.
Okay.
Phone a friend.
Any other person? Thank you so much, Nicholas.
Anonymization.
Sorry?
Anonymization.
Yeah. Anonymization, very important as well, yeah.
So in that one, you could remove some data that might identify the person, in order to protect the individual's privacy. Say, for example, in the healthcare sector, or even in organizations where someone is suffering from depression or mental health issues, there's a way the organization is always make that person anonymous to protect that person. And even when there's an audit or anything, the HR, what they do is they try to protect that person. They use all sorts of things to protect that person. They don't bring it out. And then, so even if you go onto the system to say, right, I want to look at everyone in the organizations, I want to look at whatever their personal data is, that's part of saying the person's got depression or mental health issues doesn't come up on the system because they put some sort of encryption or some sort of a privacy thing to protect that person. And of course, encryption, like what data encryption, like what Nicholas said, unreadable. So they've put some sort of encryption key there, making it unreadable, so protect the person. And then even in like in hospitals, not every person in the hospital, not everyone who works in the hospital has got access to patients' personal info. There are some parts that they have access to, and there's some parts they don't have access to. So
the question is, how do you handle sensitive data in data governance? You and Nicholas have actually provided the answer.
Can I add something?
Yes.
So I think we didn't talk about training employees, because you need to train the employees for them to understand the importance of the data security and how they can work together and keep it the way the company wants it to be.
Absolutely.
So training, very, very important.
You are right. You are right. The question is, if you train people, how do you train the people, where and how many times will this periodical?
So I can give an example if it's okay with you. So I know I've seen, like in Chevron's office, you have like your ID card has a metallic chip that you insert into a modem that's attached to your system. So for you to open your computer, you need to have that for you to enable you log on. So whilst you're working, that is on there, you can see it physically. So if you need to step off your laptop, you have to pull that out and it has to go with you. Once you put that out, it's going to close your system. So it means that if you are not on your decks, no one can actually see what you're doing or log into your system. Because with that, people can actually steal information and all that. So it's what everybody's used to. You must log out of your system immediately or stepping off your decks.
Yeah, that's about it. Before you do that, there's already training to that effect so that people will know what to do. Now, in this training, they're always going to be periodic. It has to be periodic, reminding people of what they ought to do, because some people can forget as well. That's very good answer as well. Okay. In this training, I want people to be participating as answering questions, because it's very important. That shows that you are under this training properly and also receiving. You must ask questions, you must answer questions. Try as much as possible to do that so that we can correct and shaping, the paradigm of our training as this. Okay, and
Can I add something to that?
Sorry?
Can I add something also?
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking confidentiality policies in the organization also can also improve data.
Yeah, confidentiality is more or less talking about the security. Of course, that's what we're still talking about now. Sensitive data. Okay, but now when you talk about sensitive data, it's not a joke at all. Seriously, it's not a joke. People have gone to jail. Some people have been charged to court on like FBI, the documents taken by some two people I know. So they were to go to court, and those are precedents.
Yeah.
So these are sensitive data that ought not to come up. And you must have an authorized access towards it. So how do you handle? How do you handle it? That's what we're discussing. So like...
Can I say something else?
Yeah.
Sir? So like you say, how do you handle? So I'm looking at aspects where you have to train the workers to understand, to be able to identify the dangers when it comes probably like emails. So this could be like emails that are considered to be phishing emails. And then probably you have to put up something, maybe run a test on them and see those that will not be able, and probably open those mails, and you're able to identify and say, okay, this was intentionally set up by the data governance team, and then some persons could still not recognize these emails as phishing emails that could actually bring harm to the company's corporate data system. So I think that should be part of also what you can do to. It falls back to training and regularly getting them to reminding them to understand the need for everybody to understand and follow up with this.
Very important. That is really, really important as well. So that's the reason why I wanted to always be talking. The answer I give you might not be limited to it, but when you give more answer, we have to say, oh yes, or no, or how this, you understand. So it's very, very important. Training is inevitable, really, really. It's something that we must always embrace, no matter how small it is. So the answer to that is by implementing rule-based access, okay? Role-based access, and also encryption and anonymization techniques. You go to legal field sector, you always see sometimes, unless or extraordinary reason why they should bring people's name, they will say this versus this versus that. They do that only because they want to maintain a specific anonymization. You anonymize the name of the person, so but the substance in context remain valuable as data that they can refer to as precedents. Okay. Happens in every sector. Okay, the last question on data quality and security today would be what frameworks can ensure data quality under governance?
What framework?
Yes. You won't know it anyway. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
With time, you will know it. So it's very important that we get to know. The answer to it will be is the framework. Please copy it. And when we're gonna deal with it, you already know it. So that is the framework. The framework is a Six Sigma total data quality management, TDGM, and you can use ISO 800. Those are our framework. They are
Okay.
they are there to ensure data quality under governance. So you can refer to them anytime to help you. Right. Today we're going to be talking about
Sorry, for those people who wondering what ISO is. ISO is a sort of international standard for data quality. We have ISOs not just in data governance. We also have ISOs in a lot of other fields, document control, in the medical industry. So what standard is that particular thing following? Say, for example, in the medical profession, when you have medicines being produced, I'll take a common one. Say, for example, paracetamol or Panadol. It must follow some certain standard for it to be allowed to be put out there. And so whatever standard is following, they would have it in the medical industry saying ISO 365 or ISO whatever number in the medical industry. That's the only way in which that paracetamol can be put out in the public. So it must be done. It must be produced according to the standard of the world according to the international standards. So you can't just say, I'm producing paracetamol in my kitchen. It can
Okay.
do this, it can do that. But if it's tested by the international body, it doesn't meet their criteria, it doesn't meet their regulation. So that is what ISO stands for. It's in most fields. It must be according to that standard. In data governance, we have ISOs, standard for data quality. In document control, we also have ISOs. So in the hospital, you have ISOs. So there are ISO, all sorts of ISOs everywhere. So how is it meeting that standard is what the ISO is. Thank you.
Is that understood?
Thank you, Ife. If I can add to that, I think most of the auditing that they do in different companies based on ISO standards. So when they come and audit you, they pull out all ISO standards that are applicable to the kind of business you do, and then if you fall short of that, then that audit is gone wrong. So I think most of them. So every industry has different ISO standards for everything they do. So once you fall short of that, you're failing that audit.
Yes, even in cement production, for example, or in building houses, there are some certain standards. Like in the UK, I know there's a certain standard that a house must be built to. If it doesn't comply with that standard, the government can pull that standard. It can pull that house down, or the building regulation.
That's construction standard.
Can pull it down. So those are all according to what standard? ISO.
There are also other standards that might not be so used to. We have European standard. The ISO is an international standard. We also have stricter standard they use in different areas as well. So depends on what you are doing. Okay. So even if the construction industry, like in London, we use quench. I don't know if any of you used to this quench 10, quench 11. I don't know how many quench we have right now. Those are our standards. Like I said, engineer Bob Manuel said, we use that to measure. But definitely, it's not something that you need to be afraid of, because you're going to have those things when you are working. But it's good for you to know, make reference to them. And that is why I kind of brought it out. Is that okay to everyone?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Take advantage of that. So I think I'm going to do sharing now of analytics. Hello, Ramsey, can you see what I'm sharing here?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good. iPhone, who is iPhone? Who is iPhone with him? Who is iPhone? Please identify yourself before I start down.
Yes, I don't know. It's not me.
Sorry?
No, I think I was hoping it wasn't me, like I wasn't logged onto my phone, but no, it's not. It's definitely not me. So.
Okay. If the person, if we.
Nicholas made me laugh just now.
Because I signed up to I was on another Zoom call, so maybe I could be logged in. I was thinking, but no.
Okay, all right. The person has changed. It's Ego, not Ego. Who is iPhone, please? Who is iPhone?
Double check it's not me.
Okay. Maybe when it's ready to answer. then you can come on board. So I'm going to remove the person. And make sure they can come on board. Because we're dealing with data here. We want to know who know people here. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yes. So maybe you type it on, maybe the person cannot hear us. I don't know.
Okay, maybe another time. When it comes to that, we say, and we do it. Cannot hear. But if you are, that's a very good suggestion. But if you are in a place you can hear, that means you are not first of all in the place. Is that correct? So the person will say, "Oh, I'm in, but I can't hear anyone." Ramsey, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm in. I can't hear anyone. Oh, very important. Now, what can you see on the screen, please?
Data analytics.
Data
Analytic.
Yeah, analytics.
Analytics.
It's very important. Okay. And as you can see right there, who can explain what you are seeing right there? I believe everyone can just explain it.
Are we seeing the process that data, quality data goes through?
Yeah. The process.
And also how it's stored, how it's captured, how it's analyzed, and how it's used.
Okay. Bob Manuel? Engineer Bob Manuel.
So trying to be trying to summarize it. Yeah. So it's
okay. You're still going around it anyway. Okay, no problem.
no, it's okay. I mean, but it's just knowing the importance of data and what you do with the data, how you will need to like transform data, and then after transformation, how you'll be able to pick up insights from the data and see how these insights could actually benefit the company. And then when you're done with that, will be after your analysis. Then when you're done with that, you need to present the data in a visual form that will enable decision makers to be able to make decisions that will benefit the company. So that's like.
Oh, that is really, really good. Maria Garetti from Canada.
I think the structure we are looking at is the architect of maybe a company or how data is being processed, the flow, how from the capturing into how it's being processed, how it is stored, analyzed, and finally used by the end users or by the company. So it's kind of like a flow chart of showing the different language level models of how they are being used within an organization.
Right. That's very good. Really, really good as well. Any other person?
It's showing how data is collected from different sources, though I can't see very well, from various sources. And then when it's collected, say, for example, a retail company can collect data from from customer feedbacks. It could collect data from surveys, from supply chain systems. And then that data gets stored in some sort of warehouse or structure. And say example will be, example will be like Amazon. Amazon collects data from its various customers, so that whenever there's anything going on, like a sales or something, they target. I don't know if people get it, but every time there's a particular sale on a particular item going on, they're able to target me for that particular item because I have bought it in the past. And then then it goes on to show how data is cleansed, how it's transformed, which is the extract transform. And then from there, it's converted into, it's merged. The feedback you get is merged to understand how customer satisfaction will probably affect the sales. And then after that is analyzed and then used for the future. So it's just showing how you capture customers' sales or something, how it's processed, how it's stored by the company, and then it gets analyzed and how it's used in the future, how that data collected is used for future sales or for future purpose.
Okay. Thank you so much. So let this be with you in your mind anytime, especially when you are a data analyst. So as data governance, you need to know this. If you don't know it, data analyst who does not understand what it's doing can make you have your program very inefficient. So it's very important you get to know this. So now we're talking about data analytics. Okay, all this from here to this place are data analysis. Data analytics, that's where advanced data analytics is right now. This is where we are. Okay, earlier today, a lot of you discussing if you mentioned data initiative, data quality initiative. When it comes to this, it's very important. And have you heard this word? Scalable.
Say that again, sorry?
Have you heard
Yes.
it? Scalable. Yeah, what does it mean?
Being able to measure the value of your data, being able to measure it. So your what's it called? Your
Scalable.
how you profit from being able to measure the value of your data. So something you can count, something that is countable. So it depends on the different type of data. Some data you have are not scalable. I mean, they're more on like just on a descriptive note where you describe, but scalable as you can measure like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have data in that form too that are scalable.
Okay, another person?
I think scalable means ability to expand and accumulate more information in your data storage.
Okay. Another person?
Oh, hello.
Hello, we can hear you. We can hear you. Hello?
Is it back to me? Yeah, it's Archibong here. Is it back to me?
I said we can hear you.
Hello. Oh.
We can hear you.
Okay, like I said, scalability often means ability to expand your data, accommodate, and have more information. So it depends on how your data system can react to changes and new things, the capacity it can hold. Yeah, okay.
Any other person?
Is it data that can be like efficiently managed and processed based on its volume?
Okay.
Yeah, like based on how much information you have, depends on how valuable that source of information is and where it would be stored.
All right.
That's my understanding of it, I think.
Okay. All right, no problem. Let me give you the definition of data scalable. If you go to the chat box, you will see it. Okay. It refers to systems, tools,
Yeah.
or process that can handle increasing amount of data efficiently as demand grows. So it's like more or less when we have complex data in the organization, your program able to accommodate that.
Okay.
That's what it simply means. And in most cases, when you have scalability, in most cases, you try to migrate from one system to the other in order to accommodate the scalability. Especially maybe you're going to cloud as migration.
Yeah.
Yeah, because more data cannot come in. So it's all more or less a process. It's a tool, and it's a process that can handle increasing amount of data efficiently as it goes. So
like, for example,
yeah.
Sorry, there. Apologies. So, for example, like how Apple data isn't scalable with like Google Play.
Mm-hmm.
It's not scalable because every time if they try to merge in any way, then it never really works. So they're not scalable. Would that be a correct way?
Okay, yeah, that's true. But Manuel,
Yes, sir.
you understand scalability strong now?
Yes.
Good. So what that means is that there's always a question coming in, because as data governance manager, what will you be able to do? What will you consider when you have more complex data? They are asking you a question of scalability and migration because if your system cannot hold the proportionate increase or enormous increase of data, then you need to redefine your program very well in order to accommodate the complexity of the scalability. Very important. In that, they are trying to tell you whether you're really well grounded as a data governance manager. Okay, in most cases, you can just do it alone. You have the head of data who will summon a meeting, and then see the best way you can have an architecture to hold that. And what you're going to have is already existing, just that you have to modify or develop a lot of things, system and in the policies to accommodate each of these area of your program. And don't forget, as at that time, you should be able to talk about the various capacity that the human capacity of the manning that as well. You got to train as well. You got to employ people, and you're going to increase Nicola's salary so that can do more work. Okay. Now, what is data analytics? Because I'm going to close on time. This amount of time before you look, we will hit the thing. What is data analytics? It simply refers to system process of examining, cleansing, transforming, interpreting raw data. That's what it is. With the goal of deriving meaningful insight, what is the meaning of what another word for insight?
Good.
What's another word? What's another
Understanding.
word?
Understanding, yeah.
Understanding. Always keep it very well. Okay? Because you are a manager, you're not just ordinary person. Okay? Right, patterns and trends to support informed decision making. Now you need to have that in your heart. So as data analysts, you carry out analytics. Okay, very, very important. Solve problems. Have you heard problems before? Have you heard the word problem before? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
In the morning when you get up, have you prayed that you should see problems or problems see you? Which of them?
Never.
Never.
Never. Yeah.
Okay, whether you pray to see problems or problems see you, you're definitely going to see problems. Problems are food, are fertilizer for growth. Problems, if you want to see them and have a very high level of managing problem, you creating values. So the richest people in the world and companies, they don't go for money, they go for problem solving to create value. It is value that people buy into. Have you heard say manager wanted, manager wanted? Have you seen advertisement like that before?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sure.
Maria
Yeah.
Dorothy, have you seen advertisement like that before?
Yeah.
So what did they write
Manager.
after that? Job description will be what? Skill will be what?
You always have
Problem
you always have
solving,
manager
data
to
analysis.
Problem solver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
A team player, problem solver.
Yeah.
So if you are not a problem solver, you can't solve problem if you don't see problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
that's true.
Yes, sir.
Am I communicating?
Yes, you are.
Yes, sir.
But I think everybody by nature is a problem solver. Like every donor.
Now
Yeah.
you're getting what I'm saying.
So the level at which you are solving it is what we are talking. I think is what we should be talking
that
about.
is very, very good. Now, Maria Garate, you get what I'm saying now. So you
Yeah.
can't, whether you pray to see problem, or pray for problem to see you, you're going to be seeing problem. Because that shows you are a good manager if you're to have an ability to solve the problems. So every human being here is a manager. So the difference is that whether someone is a good manager or a bad manager. A good manager or a bad manager. So the more you have tools to solve problems will determine how good you are in managing and how your salary will be. The more you solve problems, the more salary you have. When people too quiet, like they say, what is this man talking about? That is the truth. So when people see problem, they run away from problem. That is why they lose money, they lose salary, they don't gain more experience. Oh, so now a decision is imperatively to be. Mary put something. He said, like in United States of Africa adage, problem never finish. Not they finish. It's Mary. You don't kill somebody. So now we solve problems, improve efficiency and performance in various domains. So this involves using what? Variety of what? Variety of what?
technical tools.
Techniques and
Techniques.
tools and methodologies.
Okay. Shall I underline it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it bold. So the reason why you're here is to be trained how to use techniques, tools, methodology to analyze data sets. That is it. Ranging from descriptive, what descriptive is, summarizing what has happened. You go to your employee, you must know what has happened, what is the current state, what happened to data. This is where if it comes very handy. If I give a listener, we analyze the whole thing to this place. Why? Because she knows where she's going. Now, your employee, do you know Marks and Spencer? Do you know Primark? Do you know Primark? Do you know a shop? Have you been to a big shop before, clothing shops?
Primark, yeah, but I swear I haven't seen one in a while.
Good. Now, if you look at the shop floor, the shop floor divided into 4 parts. To the quarter of the shop floor, clothes, they are women's clothes, 3/4.
Yeah. The
Is
same
that
as
correct?
gyms. The same as gyms, really. Most people don't. Maybe a bit be honest. Like gyms are actually advertised to females more so than they are to males
Good.
because females are more weight orientated, if that makes sense. Weight and fitness is more female orientated. 70% of most personal trainers client base will be female.
Good. Then maybe out of the 1/4 that remaining, they divide it into 4. 3/4 of that small 1/4 is for children. Then very small part of it is for men. What's going on?
That's
Maria,
not fair.
Women like women like looking good. That's why.
Yeah, because one cloth,
Hey,
maybe
man.
a pair of trousers a man will buy is equal to 20 pairs of a woman trouser, a woman jean. So that's why. That explains it.
Are you sure? I don't believe in that, Maria Garrett.
So a man will wear a pair of jeans. A man can wear a pair of jeans for a whole month, but a woman has to have 4 or 5 pairs of jeans to wear, change them every
Different
day in
style.
a week.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay, let me add something. So I think because the man is programmed naturally to be the one who cares for the wife and the children. So most men don't they consider their needs as the least in their priority table. So the first goes for the wife and then the children comes after. So if he has his money, that's also the way when it comes to okay, we need to buy stuff. He considers himself as the last person. So he's the least that comes, he's the last person that comes for shopping. So probably when they make sales, males clothing are like the least they sell. Women and children are of top priority. So they designed it has enabled them make an informed decision to put their their outlet in that form so that when the customers come, they'll be able to meet the needs of the customers.
I don't totally agree with you.
I like argument. Oh yeah, speak.
I don't totally agree with you because even when we talk about most women don't even still consider themselves when they talk of like how do they say it? Like when we talk about buying things, they even consider buying more, thinking about the children, buying for the children at each point in time because children tend to outgrow what they have at a particular point in time. But I think the main thing is that if you check the cost of a male jean trouser and the cost of one jeans trouser and the cost of one female jeans trouser, the prices are quite different. I think the marketers understand that women are kind of like fashionistas, like they like the variety, different colors and different styles and different patterns. But men don't really care. Like when they have one, like a pair of shoe of a male, of a man can give me a female almost 5 pairs. So if a man is buying one in town, they call it one in town, and that one in town stays long, like for a longer time before the man can change it. And me as a woman, I'm buying 5. After within a short time, they're almost all bad. I'm getting another one. So I wouldn't say really because the men are like caring for the wife and the children, they tend not to buy for them. Women also care for their husbands and their children, and most times they tend not to buy for themselves. They don't even, most times they tend not to even care for themselves until maybe they realize that, I've overdone this. Let me even still take care of myself a little and all that. Sorry, we have diverted the discussion.
Yeah, sorry, madam, can I add this?
Okay. I don't totally agree with what Maria has said, because with women, we tend to shop more and more. So the most of the shops are catered towards women taste, women shopping and all that. Because with women, if a woman sees another woman, she will notice everything about that woman from the hair on her head, which is the wigs, to the very soles of her feet. And then when she sees her again on a subsequent day, she will still look at that person again and say, I thought you were wearing this white shirt when I saw you the other day. But a man would not do that. I see a lot of men working in the corporate world. Most men just put on a suit, a white shirt or blue shirt or whatever color of shirt. I don't even look, the men don't even notice whether they're wearing the same suit or not. But a woman will instantly say, you were wearing this suits last week. How come you're wearing it this week again? Please try and change it for next time. And then when we go for even our own parties, you notice that, oh, that girl, she wore that. Somebody will say, oh, I love her dress. Very nice, designers. The other person will say, no. I don't know if I don't know about being designers, but I saw her wearing it 2 weeks ago at a different party. So women tend to notice things more. So that's why we tend to buy more and more, because we're always afraid that that person would see us and see that we are wearing exactly the same stuff they saw us wearing the other day. So we just tend to buy more and more things. But men are not like that. A man can wear the same pair of jeans. His friend will not even notice if he's wearing the same jeans. He will not even notice if he's got a haircut. But a woman would say, oh, I love this wig you're wearing now. Oh, beautiful blonde color, it suits you. The next time she sees that same woman, say, oh, you've got some black hair today. Whoa, I love this one more than the blonde one you were wearing the other day. So women tend to notice things more than men. So they tend to do more shopping than men.
All right, thank you so much. I know if I put this debate down, everyone will be talking. You see, the basic thing is that decision was not made lightly at all. It was made as a result of analytics, data analytics. Okay, so as we begin to go on, this will be emerging. Okay, it's about trend, pattern, what has been happening over time. Okay, and there is an insight, meaningful insight into reality of the trends of what's going on. That give them more strategic, informed decision making. So I expect that as a data governance specialist who you are, you'll be able to use this language. It's a result of analytics. And that analytics, as we begin to go on, you will know. So it's talking about there are techniques, tools, and methodology to analyze those data, ranging from descriptive, what has happened before, that now would not inform the shop floor to have such enormous parameters of space for such display. And also to predictive, that means forecasting what might happen. Okay, that's a forecast, you know what that means, because there are data for such a forecast, maybe weather forecast or whatever. Okay, and they'll probably have a prescriptive analytics, which may be as a result of suggesting what action to be taken. So we also need all these things that as we begin to go on, you will see that every aspect of this data enable businesses and organization to extract valuable information from data, enable them to make what data-driven what? Data-driven what?
Decisions.
Okay, and gain a competitive edge. Competitive edge means that a comparative advantage over their competitors in their respective industries. So the concept that if we refer to the other time is ETL and ELT. So don't let this concept, don't forget this concept at all. Try to know it.
ETL,
extract,
ELT.
Transform, load. You see the same thing here, extract, load, transform. So it depends on the system you have. Okay, and sometimes it's you can integrate this. You can integrate system together to as if you have immediately extracted, you're already loading with transformation taking place. Okay, that being said, let's go in straight. What is descriptive? The key aspect of data analytics are data collection. And what that means is gathering data from various sources like database, sensors, and surveys. That's what when I show something last time is talking about capturing. Okay, capturing could be just raw capturing or from database. Okay, all right. We talk about data cleansing. So we talk about data cleansing. That cleansing simply means removing or correcting errors, inconsistency, and or missing data to ensure that the quality of the data set is ensured. Okay, and that's what if we just explained the other time. Okay, and it's very important. And without having those things, you may make a mistake. Okay, there are things in the that have been put by barrister on the chat box. Take advantage of them to get it and keep them very well. We have data transformation. That's why transformation talking about structuring and data and organizing data into usable format. Okay, what format are we talking about, for example? If we have to store a data in a PDF form, and you go and store it in different formats like Word document, it's not good. If you have to store MP4, which is video, go and store it in MP3 format, it's not good. So through methods like aggregation, normalization, and scaling. You need to have a standard of that, scaling, okay? Data transformation. Data statistical analysis is very, very important. You use this method to analyze data, such as calculating averages, variance, and correlations and distributions. We also need to look at data visualization. You need to visualize the data in terms of charts, okay, graphs, and whatever. And also, it will help you to interpret what's within what the data is saying. Okay, we have predictive analytics using historical data. Of course, we're going to look at it and learn a machine learning algorithm to predict future outcomes or trends. So number 7 is very important, which is decision making. That leverage insight. Another word for insight is what?
Understanding.
Understanding. Gain from data analysis to make informed decisions or strategies for business and health and finances, etc. So data analytics is widely used in fields like what? Business. All right, because you're going to enter business world, healthcare, marketing, sports, and finances to optimize processes, improve decision making, and gain a competitive advantage over their competitors. Okay, that being said, let's splash words on each of them. Descriptive analytics. It simply involves summarizing historical data. Okay, whenever descriptive means historical. You are describing what has been there. To gain what? To gain what?
Insights.
Into reality. So, what can occur, and what can occur, what has occurred in the past. Always remember, descriptive talking about the past data that we put in place historically. Is that okay? Example is analyzing customer purchase history to identify seasonal trends and popular products. Can you give me another example as well?
Winter boots.
Winter
boots. Okay. Buying winter boots. They look at the customer's purchase history to identify if they will be buying more winter boots in the winter. And also they can use data such as what has occurred in the past to say, okay, this year, like today now, we have a very bad weather today in the UK. And if you look at it, they've been announcing that we're going to get bad weather. So they've used historical data to inform their decision as to what will happen today. So it might not necessarily happen, but because in the past, when they looked at all the factors connected to having a bad weather like today, they came up with the answer, right, everybody stay home, try not to limit your going out and all that, because based on what we've seen in the past with weather like this, it's really terrible. You might end up in a not so good situation. So that is descriptive analysis. And then what I said before about winter boots, they've looked at, say, for example, December, every month of December, January, that it snows heavily or the weather is really bad. So people would need winter boots. They look at the purchase history and they say, right, there's always a spike between December and March, where ladies tend to buy more winter boots. They buy knee-high ankle boots or thigh boots. And then they flood the stores with these winter boots so that into every shop you go to, they've got winter boots on sale, because that is what the customers want to buy during this period. No one will be buying them high heel sandals or anything like that because of cold.
Right. So that is a very good example. Okay, who else going to give me an example? Maria Garrity.
Okay, I think another example is Christmas sales, like
That's
a
correct.
seasonal sale, and it happens like once in a year. So I think they tend to know the time to put all these things, like things needed for Christmas cap, clothes, shoes, and whatever decorations. They know when to bring it out on sale, and they also know like what people usually buy, especially when it comes to children. They would have outgrown what they got last time. So they tend to bring more of different kinds of designs on children outfits, decoration, things that children would like. So I think that's another one.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Barrister.
Thank you very much. I think a very good example. You have, think I made some, like you did say, I actually on the chat section, I made some very important posts on NHS. As we all know, when it comes to winter, we have what is called bed blocking. So NHS does everything possible to ensure that before winter, they put a lot of things in place, but they still have that problem. So you could see at every point in time, they're doing everything possible to ensure that they keep up with the pace and also make prior arrangements, looking or working on the historical data that they've had in the past. That's why, as CEO just said, what's happening currently in UK. In fact, we all know about, I think about 2 weeks ago, at least 3 persons died, 3 people died. If they had been indoors, I mean, we were not blaming any of them for going out, but at the end of the day, I think one of them was in his car and the tree fell. I think they died. So this is shows that looking at historical data and looking at history. That's why I also wrote there that in the UK, they spend a lot of money on history, getting this information. But I'm very surprised that a country had to stop history, as a subject. I mean, I don't know, when we think about things like this, it really gets us really angry. I mean, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's very important. History is very important for economies, for economy development. And there's nothing that is happening on Earth that has never happened before. So if people know history very well, they'll be able to mitigate against it by measures that were taken before to ensure such a thing to happen. And in most cases, history is always repeating itself. If not every year, it will be maximum every 7 years. It's a cycle. So it's very important. Nicola's hand was up before again. Then, okay, Barrister, your hand is up.
Yeah, thank you. Just to buttress what you just said or what we've been discussing, when I did my master's in social work, we had, I think we were 3 lawyers in the class, 1 head of school, people from all walks of life, And when we're doing introduction, the lecturer said, it's very strange that there's no one that actually read history. And when this lady started speaking about the importance of history, I was stunned. In fact, everyone was stunned. You know, how, like we were saying, how looking at the history helps you to forecast the future.
Yeah, that's what
You
descriptive
know,
analysis is.
so it is so important. I don't know what we can do about this. You know, I'm not sure if they've actually reinstated history in the curriculum of Nigeria, but it's really, really sad that people could just wake up one day and say that they're stopping history. I mean, like you said, without history, you won't go anywhere. You have to look, like you said, history is always repeating itself.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Thank you. I know you are very passionate about the country you came from, but someone like Nicholas that came from Caribbean country as well could be also passionate. Is that a legacy hand or is it a new hand, barrister? It should be legacy hand. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, it's a legacy hand. Thank you.
So, no problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah, see, even in Jamaica, though, like even from my mum's perspective, like we're kind of more proud of being African. Like we it's weird because in Jamaica, like being Jamaican is almost, it's like it's trauma. It's like, you know, we're only Jamaican because we were stolen. Does that make sense? So it's a lot of trauma from a Jamaican perspective. That's what, or at least that's the way my mum taught me. My dad wasn't around for very long.
Don't worry, we're taking you to Nigeria. So
yeah, I'd love to, please. Yeah, that would be great.
All right. We have Mamadou here. Mamadou, can you speak where you are, Mamadou? Mamadou is from Guinea. Is it Guinea-Bissau or Guinea or?
Yes, I can speak. Sorry,
okay.
I was just struggling to actually
Okay, where are you from originally?
Well, I was born in Portugal, but originally West Africa, which is Guinea-Bissau.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So we're taking all of them to Nigeria. That's what it means. That's what Nicola said.
My dad was Nigerian still, so I need to go. I need to go. Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right. Let me be very frank with you. History is very important. Without history, you can't do the analytics, descriptive analytics. So if you go to, especially NHS or doctors, you're going to look at, okay, if patient is brought, let us look at his health history. That descriptive analytics can be carried out. So if your hands up.
Yeah, a good example will be the banks. They use a lot of times they use descriptive analysis to give credit or not to people, to give loans or not to people, because what they look at is they look at the customer's history in the past. If you've been someone who's been involved in some kind of fraud, or you've had decline, or you've not paid your loans or credit cards off in the past, they will find it difficult to offer you any new credit or new loan. So they use the descriptive analysis to checkmate what they can offer you or what they cannot offer you.
Okay.
I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so just for you to differentiate between analysis and analytics as it concerns data.
Process. When you are carrying out analysis, you kind of process the data itself. But analytics is you are using those process data from historical, for example, to visualize your decision making. Okay.
So descriptive is analysis and predictive is analytics.
No. We're going to get to prescriptive very soon. So this is descriptive, is talking about secondary data. Okay. When you reach your hand is up, Rife. So prescriptive is recommendation. You recommend, you prescribe like a pharmacist. After you cannot prescribe when you have not getting data that you have described. So we'll get them. Yeah. If your hand is up, the way we are going, I don't think we can
talk about
Don't
Sorry,
think
I
you
was
can
talking
finish
about,
with the time.
sorry,
I
I
said the
was
way
going to
we
talk about insurance companies. A
okay.
lot of insurance companies use historical data to give people insurance.
Okay.
It could be car insurance, it could be house insurance, or um, contents insurance, or whatever. What they look at is the history of that. They might even look at the history of that area. Is it an area that is notorious for crime? If it's an area that is notorious for crime, they will make sure when they're giving you the car insurance, they will make the premium a little bit higher than normal, because that area is known for stealing of cars, and then so that when they steal that car, they can give you your car back. So they use historical data a lot of times for giving out insurance to various people.
Absolutely.
And then, sad to say, sometimes too, the color of the skin might be affected. They look at, I don't want to mention any particular race. Are they willing to bet on that race or not? So they look at it and say, okay, this area, there are lots of people of this particular race, and they are known for being dubious. So therefore, if we have to give them insurance, we increase the insurance premium in that area.
Okay. Thank you so much. Maria Garrity.
Okay, talking about historical, we can still liken it to the health system.
Absolutely.
Where a patient is sick, they tend to call up the files to find out the health historical background of the patient, like knowing particular details, maybe the patient, because when you register at first as a patient, some basic details are gotten from the patient, like knowing your blood group, to knowing if you have diabetics, if you don't have, they want to know if there is diabetic issue in your family in the past history, or if your family ever had such traces. So when somebody is sick, they call up for the file, and they want to know the history of that person's health background, to know how they can further enhance the treatment.
That's good. Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled. It's just that we're running out of time now. I thought by this time we have closed. I think we have not even reached half of it. Those are example, typical example. Everyone who is within the sound of this training, please take note of what has been put together, and that would make you well abreast with what analytics is. So let's move to descriptive, diagnostic analytics. So
diagnostics.
Yeah, so this just involve examining data to determine why a particular event or trend occur. So we're talking about the reason why that trend occur within the data. Okay, have you heard the word diagnosis?
I have, yes.
Good.
Yes.
So for example, diagnosis is trying to investigate, looking into the cause behind a decrease in website traffic, that's by what? Increased marketing expedition. Okay. We want to know why there is decrease in sales, that's by our advertisement. We want to know why there's decrease in our research, that's by the investment we put in innovation. So other things. So why diagnostic? That's what I mean. So the challenge that we do have is that identify the specific advertising channels or campaigns that led to decrease users' engagement in the circumstances of this example. So have you got any example on why something should happen? If your hands up.
Yeah, for that website, the website decrease in traffic, you go on some websites. By the time you click one, they move you to click another. At a point in time, you just become frustrated and you just say, you know what, I'm no more interested. Even if whatever they're offering, it's very attractive, even if the price is low, just because they've moved you from one point to the other point, click this, click that, you just lose interest and you say, you know what, there's no need to go through all that palaver just to get what you want to get. So that could also be a reason for the decrease in the website traffic, despite them putting so much money in the marketing. Then there are some websites that are not even attractive to look at in the first place. They're so dull. and then you're looking at it and you're saying, oh, this website is so unattractive. There's nothing even there's nothing even showing the image or whatever you're looking at. You lose interest in that website. Another cost too could be where they say put in your card details. You just put in this, they will say put in your house number, put in your address, put in this. I know all that is for security, is to heighten security, but sometimes you just lose it and you say, you know what, I'm no longer interested. And you move on to a different website.
Good. Yeah, that's a good example. Margarete?
Okay, just to add to what she has just said, like the first thing about the website is supposed to make sure that the website is user friendly.
Yep.
So many websites are not just user friendly. Not to talk about the designs. So most times they have so many words and so many details, like you need to start reading like you are studying for a course to understand what they are saying. And when it comes to their terms and conditions, most times they tend to put so many things in it, like confusing you and not making you understand it at once what their terms are. So such websites or such occasions can reduce people's attention or wanting to patronize that particular company for whatever sales.
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you so much. I love those examples, you know. The word you use, user-friendly, is what matters. You know, that's what if he was trying to refer to. If your hand is up again.
Then in physical shops, sometimes they put in all the adverts that they want to put in, but the traffic to that particular shop is very slow. The reason could also be, it could be that they are doing some kind of road repairs in front of that area. So people would not even want to go through that area. So they don't see whatever is being advertised in that shop. It could be that their customer service is very poor. You go into the shop, no one is looking at you. No one is even giving you a second glance. Or it could be that you go into the shop and it's so rowdy and so unkept. Because I've been into shops before where half of the clothes are on the floor. The the customer service, the salespeople are overwhelmed. They can't even do anything. And that is why I don't go into some shops, because I go in there and I have a headache just trying to wade through all the clutter on the floor. So I just move to another place. And then also it could be that they are very rude, they are unattentive. Those are all reasons. So they might be doing all the adverts they can on TV, on radio, and whatever, but no one is going there. So their sales are very low.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's how to diagnose. Diagnosing means investigate data. Investigate data. Why is this data that visualizes not working? There's a problem going in analytics. Why those data that have been analyzed and visualized not working, helping us to take such, despite the fact that we visualize things that are happening, but why sales still drop? So analytically, so you have to look into investigate. Okay, let's go to the next one. A predictive analysis, as the word implies, it uses statistical algorithms and machine learning techniques to forecast future outcomes based on what?
Historical data.
Which data are we referring to now historical here? Analytics. Which analytics? We're talking about this analytics. Which analytics is historical data?
Descriptive.
Sorry, what the descriptive? What?
Descriptive. So without descriptive, no predictive.
No predictive, no.
But Manuel?
Yeah, I said, yeah, okay, I understand.
Good. So predictive customer shown based on past behavior and interactions. That's okay. Solution to any problem like that would be like, employing predictive analytics models reveal that lengthy response times to customer queries significantly increase the likelihood of churn. So this is customer service, customer satisfaction. So coming as complaint, their experience with such corporation can cause a lot of things. So let's just move to the next one because I know a lot of it. This prescriptive analytics. As the word implies, it just recommends action to optimize outcomes. So based on predictive forecast and descriptive models. So there is no prescriptive recommendation if there's no predictive and descriptive. Okay, now let me make a statement. And I want you to tell me which of the analytics involved. Nicholas, don't go out this morning with umbrella because there will not be rain due to market fish forecast this morning in BBC. Now, can you tell me what is prescriptive, what is predictive, and what is descriptive?
Predictive is the
descriptive. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry there. So I think predictive is the forecast. Or no, yeah. Based on, it has to be based on some kind of historical data. It has to be for them to even give you that description. I believe the treatment was me going out without the umbrella.
Okay.
I believe.
You believe that you not going out with that umbrella is
would be the treatment for their prediction is the forecast.
Okay.
But that's also the description, right? I don't know.
Oh, okay. You want to phone a friend? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. The descriptive there is the name of the person you called earlier that gave the forecast. So describing where the forecast came from. Then the forecast is the predictive that so and so person describing so and so person has said that there will be no rain today, and you taking that action, like recommending the action to you that there's no need to pick an umbrella, which is prescriptive. So you don't need an umbrella today because so and so person has described that there will be no rain today, has already predict that there will be no rain today.
Thank you so much. If you want to interview people, this is how you interview people. You don't say, what is a prescriptive analytics? No. You will not. We want people who have their hands on when on unemployment straight. Okay. People who commit to work in enterprise with economic value, who that are skilled, have knowledge, adding value to the enterprise. They know what they are doing. We're not here to define what is prescriptive. We're not here to know which kind of, what aspect of it that you can. So that is a very good example. Thank you so much for that. You can have this one also to it, and very important. We have sentiment analysis, which is part of test analytics. Okay. I supposed to close in the last one because all these ones are just one added. But in most cases, you see the last four are the main thing. Okay, very important. This sentiment analysis uses natural language processing to understand, categorize emotions expressed in textual context. Data. Anyway. So, example of analyzing social media comments to gauge public opinion about a recent product launch. Can you give me another example of that? Don't forget the word sentiment. Have you ever seen one video
on
the social media talking about another person's product or talking about another person's video or comments?
Yeah, and like
all the time.
the language being used can what's the word? It's going to promote, it's going to invoke an emotive response, and that response is going to be based on how the text was formed, and that can sometimes have a negative. It can have a negative impact on the way people view something, even though it wasn't intended to do so. And so that you need to sort of analyze the way that text was written and what could be changed to change the outcome. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, you try. Barrister,
Tried, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I think we've had cases of we have litigation where some or organization, they made, in fact, comparison that you can't actually imagine, and they even call the name of the shop or call the name of the organization that, oh, we're doing better than XYZ, you know. And at the end of the day, you know, some of these so-called facts that they think can be proven are not actually true. You know, so at the end of they're trying to whip up the empathy. Yes, they're trying to whip up sympathy or emotions. They're trying to whip up emotions from customers. Sometimes the other organization might say it's even too late because some customers had actually acted on that advertisement. You know, so they've actually bought a lot, thereby making the other shop or organization to lose customers, and some of them even went bankrupt as a result of that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barrister. Maragarati, after
Okay,
Maragarati.
I want to give an example of what happened one time in Nigeria, where we saw a video online with a lot of sentiment analysis, like sentiments and nature, like with a lot of emotion, saying that a particular product is a milk product, that this particular milk has different types. The milk has the normal, like the normal one, let me put it like that, and it has the creamy one. So we got a video clip saying that this creamy one has been faked. We had 3 different type of feeds. She's saying that this is fake, this is original, how to determine the fake and the original. And I can remember going to the market that period, and when I got there, even while I thought I knew from the video I watched how to differentiate the original from the fake, when I got there, I saw all of them brand new, as in their package and in their carton. I still got confused, even with my video clips, with my, I had a screenshot of them, but I still got confused. So it was later on in the market, I met a customer who was explaining that these 3 milk I'm trying to compare, that they are the 3 different products of this particular milk, that this is a new one they released, that they all have, like, they brought up different brands with different, like, you know how they just try to repackage their products. So it's kind of like there was a repackaging and all that. And why I tend to believe the man, he said he's not telling me so that I will buy for him, that even if I want to buy for him with all the way he's reading my face, like I don't believe, he will not even sell to me, that I should go and find out first what he has told me from other stores and compare what he has told me to satisfy myself if it's true or not. So that single clip of trying to, I'm sure most times it can be because of competition with another product who is producing the same type of end product. So it can just be a sentimental way of trying to disregard this particular product for people not to buy it. And before they clear up their name in air and among their customers, it would have been very late, because people were not really opting to buy their product because of the video clip they saw online.
And that can lead to legal action anyway as well. So if your hand is up,
So I am very big on reviews when I want to buy anything from a website. Use Amazon as an example. what I do is if I'm trying to buy a product, first of all, I'll go through the customer reviews on that website. If I see comments, positive comments like, oh, I love this new feature in this product, it's exactly what I need, or it's highly recommended, then I will say, yes, that's a plus. If I see the product works fine, but I haven't noticed any major improvement, which should be a neutral sentiment, I will say, it might not be so good. Then, of course, if I see any negative sentiment, so I go through all the reviews, the more positive sentiments I see being expressed, the more I will look at that product. But once I start seeing negative comments, immediately I shut that particular website down and say that product is no good. So, but based on the results, a lot of companies use, when they look at the sentiments being expressed at that social media handle, say, for example, Facebook or Instagram or one of the other social media platforms, what they do is the more positive feedbacks they have, the more positive comments they have, they know that customers are happy with that product. But when they have more negative feedbacks on that particular product, they go back to the drawing board, they go back to the design and say probably the design is wrong or whatever the content says is wrong. If it's say for like a body cream or face cream or something, or a foods item, they go back and then sometimes they try to withdraw that product from the market and then reintroduce it back into the market. Then when they see a lot of neutral feedback on that product, then they start thinking, what do we do? What's the next step forward? How do we get customers to become more engaged? So based on the feedbacks they see on the platform, if it's negative, positive, or neutral, they are able to go back and do a number of things, with either to make customers to become more engaged, to buy more into the product, or they withdraw that product from the market and then they go to their competitors' pages to see if they're expressing more positive comments on their competitors' pages, and then that will help them to make informed decisions as to whether to leave that product on that website, improve that product, or totally withdraw it from the market. So this is how they use sentiment analysis for their companies.
Thank you so much. All right, Barrister, your hand is up. Final hand.
Yes, thank you so much. I want to say thank you to all those that have actually spoken before me. Sorry to say that we'll usually, when we're making comparisons, sometimes we'll mention some countries. By the way, comparative analysis is allowed. In countries where there are ethics and they are compliant with the law, I'm going to give two examples. Here in the UK, there was a time, I'm not sure if some people can still remember, there was a time a company came up with, the manufacturer, they said they are manufacturer of ice cream, and they use human breast milk.
Oh, God.
Yes. In fact, it was at Soho. It was at Soho. Oh my God, everyone was just trooping there. And a group of people now said, no, this is not right. This is not right. And at the end of the day, they had to stop it.
Yeah, of course.
The second one was a company that came up with, thank you, Maria Gorati, you just reminded me of the milk. This company, in German, the word Ficky means lovemaking. And that was the word they used. And people now wrote petition. They said, no, you cannot continue using that name. And lots of people were actually buying that product because of that. And at the end of the day, they had to withdraw that. They had to change their name. You could see. So in a sane society, a society where, they are compliant with, they know when people come up, they actually look at what you have to say, and they weigh the pros and cons. They go to court and they respect the law, rules of law, like Pastor said. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for today. Thank you so much. I don't know if you have learned something today. Maria Garati, your hand is up. Okay.
Yeah. When it comes to sentiment analysis, because I know of a situation just like FA explained, why people go through review is to let you as a customer know more about this particular product or this particular company, if they are really delivering, they are doing well. you tend to like patronize them. And if they are not doing well, you tend to like look elsewhere. And the company itself, such reviews help them to know what their customer feel about them. Like I know of a company that their one of their staff was so rude to customers, and customers kept putting it and kept calling out the person's name on the review. And then the company had to do something about that particular staff. So, but my concern now is in a situation where people tend to believe sentiment analysis, and a particular company have employed or engaged individual who go there to like give good sentiment reviews, try to counter any bad sentiments, and also try to hide any, because they do hide some comments or reviews online, try to hide sentiment that does not favor them, that is not good enough. They try to hide it. And when you get there, you wouldn't know that some real customers had already put up maybe bad sentiment, what they felt about that particular product or company. All you could see are just good ones, good ones, good ones. So that's a very serious issue to me, because it confuses the customer who even wants to engage to buy or deal with that particular company because of the kind of reviews the person is seeing, and not knowing, like I gave another example. There was a time that one other, like all these people who say they are doing there was a time not so long, early this year, one business kind of like came up in Nigeria. They call it integrated ad service, something like that. And based on the review and the caliber of people who were involved in it, some people got involved too. So, but at the end of the day, it turned out to be that they were scammers. They scammed people and took a whole lot of millions from people and all that. So how like being a governor, a data governance now, how is one supposed to differentiate, like going to know if this sentiment, because sentiment is supposed to help us a lot, is actually real or fake or not?
Thank you so much. Because working with time, and I must confess that all of you have really spoken well. And let me answer Maria Garrity. To be quite honest, reviews are necessary, but some reviews are fake. They are sponsored. It's okay. And also the negative ones, as you said, could be hidden. There's a law, even where in a vast country like UK now, that is being discussed in the parliament about some reviews, okay? Fake reviews that are taking place, okay? So, and then as data governance, how will you know? It's data. Data will show. It's not about what people just say. It's about what, like we have standard now. So, okay, manufacturing standard. These are the things you put so thing in European standard. You must list all the items going in a product and their constituents. So that will be analyzed in the laboratory to meet up with that standard. If it does, then you have your data already correct. Every other thing that people will say will be different, except that when they say it, they're talking about this one is fake, this one is not fake, this one, we just carry those data and analyze it with respect to the standards they put for that manufacturing. You know, if it was talking about ISO, and Bob Manuel was talking about ISO the other time, those are the things I will use to get the quality assurance, to know whether the quality is meeting the standard expected. You can't just say, oh, by sentiment, this person said this is that, and then based on that, the data governance you want to do. No, you go deep because you're a specialist. You are speaking to the word from your country, from your company, and you must get it right. Otherwise, I will call Bob Manuel to come out to hold you responsible as a data governance. So it's very important. These are all things to be, you can have data right and let it be valued. In those days, whoever that says something, you say, okay, according to BBC, people say, BBC said, he carried it. Wow. Let's see what BBC say. Well, I don't know if now, you know, so is very important. There are websites, there are things that anything you get from there, they're top notch because they know the kind of people that are there. The financial world, don't play with data. Financial Times, anything Financial Times comes in, people look at it, say, wow, you know, they put plus or minus because they don't get their data wrong in most cases. So you as a data analyst or data governance manager, you should make sure your data are real. As well, no matter how sentiments analytics, you need to get, okay, this product, put all of them together. Let's take them to examine them in the laboratory according to what they have put by the side of the container or the container, let me say package. And then if it doesn't go well, those people that are doing sentimental something analysis, which are not true, they may not have carried out a thorough investigation or diagnostic investigation, analytics to see what actually has gone wrong in that data. That's why we are specialists. I don't know if that has answered your question, Margaret.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. So the hand is up again. Are we not going because we're supposed to have closed?
No, I was going to corroborate what you have just said.
Okay.
With sentiment, because Maria Gorotti asked a very important question: that how will it help, or what do we do as data governance manager? Of course, you wouldn't know whether those sentiments being expressed are real or not. But what will be helpful is that the more sentiments you get, the more you put it on your dashboard or get your stewards to put them on your data governance, whatever reporting tool you're using, if it's Power BI, if it's Tableau, or if it's Excel or whatever. They put all those sentiments on that database, and it's important that if they are positive, they go under positive, and if they are negative, they go under negative sentiments. But don't forget, sometimes there might be a sentiment that is expressed there. It might come under negative on the website, but it's actually a positive feedback. So you as a data governance manager job is to make sure that steward who is looking at those comments on the social media handle or social media websites puts it under the correct heading. You can't put negative under positive and put neutral under positive. So they must all go in where they are meant to be. And with that one, once they are all done, or once they keep coming back like that, whoever is in charge of that particular product or the organization can then go back to the drawing board and say, why are we getting all this negative, or why are we getting all these positive feedbacks? There must be something wrong. And then they can also use algorithms to check me to see if those are real people putting that comment in, or if they are fake people putting it in. So, but overall, the overall purpose of all that is to ensure that risk is mitigated. The risk now will be that let's not put a product on the market where we're expecting X million pound sales, and then all of a sudden we're losing so much money on that product. Or at least let's put a product in the market that people will want to buy into. So that's your main purpose as a data governance manager, making sure whatever sentiment is being expressed goes under the correct heading, not under the wrong one.
Thank you.
All right.
It's just a matter of data analysis to uncover that negative reviews. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
And when you do that, you just really identifying that negative review. Is it real? If the negative is real, if it is real, then that's why if you're saying that you move it to real. If it is not, then you move it to the appropriate quota as a data governance manager. This is very important. I love the way we spend time on this because
sorry, Pastor, and that's what they have on a lot of websites now. They've got, I think something they call bots, where you have to, when you go into a website, there's something where they say, are you human or are you not human? You have to answer a number of questions, identify how many lamp stands are in that particular picture, or how many lights are on, or what's the traffic light there. So you have all those sorts of things to help identify if you're an actual person trying to go into the website. A lot of organizations do that nowadays. I think they call them bots. I might be wrong.
All right. So now, if we go to, please don't forget to visit the the chat box because there are a lot of things barrister put in there. Well, we have a lot of if a statement is made, we can have fast check as well. If something is done, you can determine whether their statement is right or wrong. So there are so many organizations that are already in vogue in this world. So if somebody want to do business with you, brings a company, name the company and bring the website. If you put it in that domain that you have, automatically will tell you that company is fake, or that company have been sanctioned, that company have failed to deliver contract completely, and that kind of a thing. So there are so much that is going on. Okay. All right, so get the information from the chat box and it will help you so much as data. This training is not just ordinary training. We are blessed to have this training, and I don't know of you.
Yeah.
This is where we're going to stop today. And I'm going to divide people, as I promised before, in a group. So we're going to be doing some practicals while we are still doing some training. Is that okay, everyone?
That's absolutely perfect, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have two groups from here. Let me get two groups from here instead of three groups. I'm going to go have a breakout room. And once I get, it's going to be automatic because some people want to belong to some people. Some people want to, that's what they normally do. You know, some people, I want this person to be my tutor. I want this person to be my tutor. All the tutors said are very, very sound. It's not a joke. Okay. Some of them are even more than the trainer. So I have to be very frank with you now. So let me have a division, go to breakout room in two, and every other person will join. I pity those who are not around here today because if they come, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. So now, do you want us to go to different groups now? And then we have different WhatsApp. Even we have overall WhatsApp, it will be different WhatsApp. Do you want us to go have different rooms, different
Whatever you think's best, really.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. I'm gonna be two automatically assigned groups. Okay. And I'm going to tell you who is your tutor there. Okay.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Go to the rooms. I'll move it to the place. Go to the room. Go to your room first and move your tutor to the place. Go to your rooms, join your room, accept the person sleeping, join your rooms. Go to your rooms. Go to your rooms. Join your room. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go to each rooms now.
I can't see anything to join. No?
There
I'm
is,
still here.
yeah, okay, you are in room 2. Go to room 2.
Sir, we can't hear you, sir.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm very sorry. I was thinking they can hear me. Okay, now,